Hi, Natalie. My name is Kara Story. I'm the registered dietitian nutritionist here. I got a referral from your doctor saying that you wanted to improve your nutrition and kind of your diet. So, do you want to expand a little bit more on that for me?
Yeah, so I have just been really busy lately. I had a really busy summer with working and then went straight into full time school. So it's just been really hard for me the past few months to always get enough to eat and to get good foods to eat just because I'm so busy. So I just feel like I'm not feeling good and I'm always tired. And I think it might just be because I'm not always eating very well. I don't think my meals are very balanced, so I'm just not sure what to do to get enough food and enough nutrients.
Okay, so your busy schedule and just kind of the changes you've been experiencing lately have really impacted your nutrition, and you think that's the reason why you've been feeling kind of tired and sluggish.
Yeah, because I really wasn't feeling very good. So when I went to the doctor after kind of talking about my lifestyle, he just said, I think it's more that you're not eating and sleeping enough. There's nothing wrong. So now I just have to figure out how I can fix that.
Right, okay. So, can you just tell me a little bit about what your eating and sleeping habits have been like lately?
Yeah, so get some homework done. So I'll probably go to bed between like 10 or 12. And I usually have to be up by 7, sometimes at 6, just depending on the day. Um, and so usually in the morning I do okay because I'll just make something fast like a smoothie or some oatmeal. But I have meetings usually all afternoon after classes, so I don't always have time to make a lunch. And I have to go work out in the evening, so then I don't have time to eat around that. And then for dinner, sometimes I'm not home until late, so sometimes I'll just throw something together, like maybe just some vegetables or with some hummus or some crackers. Sometimes I'll make a meal and then I'll have it for a day or two, but I always run out of it. So if I have leftovers, I'll eat them, but if not, it's just something super simple, like
Okay.
sandwiches or a salad, or usually it's kind of small.
Okay. All right. Well, thinking about those changes that you're wanting to make, what is one thing that you think you would like to start improving on or changing with your diet or even sleep that you want to start working on maybe next week?
Um, well, I think with my diet, I need a way to get more food throughout the day. I don't usually have time to grocery shop. I don't have time to go to the store and look around. So I need to figure out how to get more food and then probably figure out how to prep. I've never really been good at that, so I'm not really sure how to go about prepping it. And just making sure I'm not eating so many sugary and carb rich foods that don't make me feel as good, but they're kind of the fastest.
Okay. Have you ever thought about any ways that you can kind of start meal prepping maybe or start maybe making your meals in advance and maybe making one trip to the grocery store or something like that?
I've thought about it, but I've never tried to really do it just because I don't have the time to think about it. And I know it's really simple, but I don't think I really know how, so I don't even know where to start.
Okay. Yeah, it can be really challenging when you're wanting to make a new goal and improve your health, but you're not really sure where to begin and you don't have that experience. So I can give you a few recommendations if you'd like.
Okay.
So one thing you can do is I always like to recommend just listing out what you're going to eat that week. So making a grocery list and then going to the grocery store just once a week.
Mm-hmm.
That way you're not wasting time every day going to the grocery store a couple times a week or every day if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then this way you're also preventing yourself from, just stopping at restaurants or fast food places to get that food quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a way you can do that. And if you're having a hard time maybe figuring out what foods to get or kind of what to buy at the grocery store, I could give you some handouts maybe via email after our session today and just give you some recipe ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another way that I always like to meal prep is when I do go to the grocery store, I'll buy in bulk. So I'll say, all right, I'm going to make these two things for lunches for the week. That way I have a little bit of variety, but I can make bulk amounts. And then I just store it in my refrigerator, and you can either separate it out into Tupperware, or even just kind of do it family style and then just make a bowl or whatever it is at the time you're eating at, depending if you're eating at home or, on campus or whatever it might be. So those are kind of my two recommendations. Um, do either of those sound manageable or doable for you or interesting at all?
Yeah, I think I could try to go and just do one trip at the grocery store one time a week. I think writing things out would be helpful because I haven't done that before. So maybe deciding on a couple meals, I guess, could be helpful. But I think one problem I have too is I stopped eating meat a while ago and I really like it, but sometimes I feel like maybe I'm not getting enough protein. So, kind of, what are good meals that I could prep that are still high in nutrients so that I'm not just. Sometimes I feel like I just have been eating more carbs since I'm not eating the meat. So, what are kind of my best options to prep?
Yeah, so there are a lot of plant proteins out there, and so our beans, our nuts, and seeds often have a lot of protein. So, not eating that meat, those are some sources that you can go to. So, things like black beans and chickpeas, or even like lentils, are all great protein sources. So, again, I'll try to include some recipes that are meatless options that have that high amount of protein in them still, so to give you some ideas. So it sounds like you're really motivated to really make a change in your nutrition and to really start eating better. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how 1 being the least motivated, 10 being the most, how motivated would you rate yourself on making a change?
Well, I would say I'm pretty motivated because I was surprised when there wasn't anything wrong that my doctor said. So, probably like a 7 or an 8, just because I know that my nutrition is the reason that I'm not feeling very good. So, I know I really need to eat better.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And so I think since your motivation is higher, setting a goal for yourself and actually achieving that goal is going to be easier for you since you are motivated. Um, do you see any barriers or any problems that you might face with this goal of trying to go to the grocery store once a week and making out that grocery list?
I think just maybe doing it will be the hardest just because I do have a crazy schedule and I feel like I have to kind of schedule everything out. So, making sure that I purposely have the time to go to the store because sometimes when I go to the store, then I don't always do a lot with the groceries. So, it's time for the store, then time to meal prep will be the hardest.
Okay. So maybe it's, even just scheduling that time in to do the meal prepping or to do the cooking and to do that grocery shopping into your regular day might be helpful as well. All right. So when it comes to setting a goal, I like to follow this motto called a SMART goal. So it's an acronym and it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time specific. So this allows us to really make a goal that's concrete and something that's easier for us to follow. And that's not too vague because if it's more specific, the more we can kind of attain that goal and achieve it. So if we were to put into words your goal, how would you make this into a SMART goal?
I think my goal would be to go to the grocery store once a week and then meal prep food twice a week on the weekdays. So maybe Monday and then like on Thursday, I'll meal prep the foods that I have enough to eat for the week.
Okay, that sounds great. Do you have times in the day you think that would work best for you in your schedule?
I think on Sundays I can find a time to grocery shop just depending on what I'm doing that day, but I think Monday and like Thursday evenings I usually have free, so I can probably just come home and cook and get it out of the way and just know that I have food for the rest of the week, so probably the evenings are better for me.
Okay, great. So that was a very good SMART goal, a good example. So I have this contract here, and it's basically just a piece of paper. That way we're both on the same page about what your goal is. And so if I could have you write your name and the date, then I'll also have you write your SMART goal that you had just said. Great. And then I will sign this as well, and I'll keep this, and that way we can both hold each other accountable and talk about it. And I'll be in touch with you in 2 weeks, probably via email if that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just check in on you and see how your progress is going, and always feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns you might have that come up, and I'll make sure that I send you some of those recipe ideas for you as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thanks.